And I will, in just a minute or two, invite David from the World Bank to present the World Development Report. And although this day is a collaboration between the 4 different partners here, V-Dem, UCDP, COG, and GLD, it also coincides with the first annual report from V-Dem, Democracy at Dusk, ? And it's a question mark, and in light of what has been said today, emphasizing the backsliding and the worries about democracy, it's also important to remember, and one of the messages of the report is that maybe there is dusk, but no death knell should be rung as of yet, at least. There are countries, and some of them listed here, that we identify as the sort of top backsliders in the sense that they've backslid the most in the last 5 years. And among them, of course, some countries we wouldn't want to see there, or we wouldn't want to see any country there, but maybe we didn't think a few years back we would see there, such as Poland, Turkey, and Brazil. But there are also countries, and some of them perhaps also unexpected, that make big advances with democracy. Among them, Sri Lanka, Burkina Faso, and of course, Tunisia, the sort of survivor among the Arab Spring countries. This report also looks at the different varieties of democracy that we have data for, and many of the indicators. And where we see more backsliding than in other areas, it is areas that both the State Secretary and Richard mentioned, in areas such as media, media providing critical information about the government and so on, harassment and oppression of civil society. Those are areas where we see more backsliding in more countries. To keep track of that. And it's also the release today of the data that this report builds on. The new Varieties of Democracy data set, version 7, with some 18 million data on democracy. All the democracy indices, the high-level ones, and all the component indices and indicators, of course. It's now online, downloadable. If you have your iPad or computer there, you can now click and download it. It's also available online in the online tools for analysis for use by anyone. So I'm very happy to mention. And here is how the world looks like according to V-Dem and the Liberal Democracy Index that is one of the indices we have. Not perhaps any big surprises here. We know what's going on in the world, but this is from the annual report. And I want to thank the V-Dem Institute team. This is a fantastic team that helps us scholars, or the whole V-Dem team, to be able to do all these things, the research and the data set and all that. So please give them a hand.